Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Robert Report. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. How you doing today? Well, we had them talking a big game. They claimed they were going to come up with a bill. This time, we're going to come up with a better bill. You heard that from Bernie Sanders and everybody. We failed on this bill. We didn't get enough on this bill. But the next bill, it reminded me of a story that my pastor told me about the guy who the shoe shine boy. The shoe shine boy will come up to you and shoe shine your shoe before you could tell him no, and then he say $5. Then the next day, before you know it, he's shining your shoe, and next thing you know, $5 because he done shined your shoe. You feel bad not paying him. But next time, he said, "Look, I can't keep giving this kid $5 for shining my shoe every day. Once in blue moon, I'll do it, but not every day." So here come the kid the next day, getting ready to do the shoe shine. The man said, "Look, young man, I don't have time. Tomorrow, I got you." Tomorrow is a badge of delay. I've had to say, why put off something for tomorrow, what you can do today? Your today determines your tomorrow. Your today determines your tomorrow. You want to find out why you didn't get nothing in the future? It's because you didn't do something today. You only got today. These politicians been playing that today game with us for too long. That tomorrow game. We didn't get it in this bill, but the next bill. Just like I predicted, the House Democrats, along with some House Republicans, decided to come up with what they call the HEROES Act or the CARES Act 3 or the Care Bears Act. I don't care what they call it. But I knew certain politicians was gonna only push it for cosmetic purposes. They're only gonna push this bill because they are trying to win an election. Case in point, Nancy Pelosi, the gentleman from California, I forgot his name. I think he's Indian. The Indian brother is fighting for her seat. He's primarying her from the Democratic side. So they have to look like heroes right now. But believe me, Nancy Pelosi could care less whether you get a $2,000 check, whether you get a UBI. She don't care about that. She got hers. She's worth $150 million. Chuck Schumer is worth $85 million. Guess who paying for their house on Capitol Hill? We are. Guess who paying for their food? We are. If they want to go to school and get more education, guess who pays for it? We are. They don't pay for nothing. Guess who pays for their Cobra, the top tier here? We do. So we're paying for them to have unlimited health care, unlimited education. They get to stay in a house that don't come out of their pocket. Yet she sits on $150 million and he sits on $80 million. And don't get me on the Republicans. I'm talking about the Democrats, because these are the people who you really think got your back. You already know the Republicans ain't got your back, but you got to understand, these people ain't got your back either. She's only doing this cosmetically. And already she caved in. Let me go over the story, because yesterday, The Intercept came out with an article. Let me get to that article. Give me a moment. All right. The Intercept said HEROES Act delivers a win to the health insurance industry. Say what? The HEROES Act delivers a win to the health insurance industry. Here we are, we got massive people dealing with COVID. They're not working, they can't pay insurance. So Jim Clyburn or Jim Crow, whatever your name is, stop talking about affordable health care. This is not the time to talk about affordable health care when people don't even have a job. It's not the time to talk about health care from your job when you don't have a job. This is the time to talk about universal health care, Medicare for all. The new coronavirus bill, entitled the HERO Act, introduced by House Democrats on Tuesday, includes protection for employer-sponsored insurance plan. How many people got an employer? Not that many people got employed. So why are you focusing on something that's going to benefit protection for employer-sponsored insurance plan. Why are you so focused on employers? Why are you not focused on the people who don't have jobs? Which the healthcare industry has been lobbying Congress for weeks. So the healthcare organizations come in and lobby Congress so they can get a piece of our pie. You knew this $1,200 a month was not enough. You know every American needs at least $2,000 a month. A rent freeze or a mortgage freeze. See, the state of New York got a mortgage freeze, but Cuomo didn't have enough balls to do a rent freeze when he know most of the people in New York City are renters. This is where I go back to Democrats screwing you just as bad as Republicans. Why are you going to start with the owners and don't do anything for the people who actually pay rent? Now we got the healthcare insurance companies going to Washington, D.C. to kiss Nancy Pelosi and all of them behind to try to get some money that should be going in your pocket. But because they are so bent to the knee concerning the medical industry, they're going to give them what they want. Healthcare lobbyists come to Congress for a few weeks and y'all start caving in like the little punks that you are. The proposed legislation includes subsidies for continued coverage for furloughed workers and people using COBRA, and continuing health coverage plan for those who have lost work, even if they don't pay their premium. Now listen here. You got to watch this. They sly in the language. The proposed legislation, it's only a proposal, includes subsidies for continued coverage for furloughed workers. So if you're a furloughed worker, you'll get some money to help you pay for your insurance. But you're furloughed. People using COBRA, that's what they use in Washington, D.C. You'll get some money, some subsidies. So in other words, she's asking for money to pay for her health care when she already get money to pay for her health care. Using COBRA, a continuing health coverage plan for those who have lost work. Not that many people in America could afford a COBRA insurance in the first place. So why are you giving subsidies to those who can't afford COBRA? The ratio to that is probably 9 to 1. 9 people out of 10 people don't have COBRA. But you're going to focus on getting money to that 1 instead of the 9. The bill also creates avenue for premium assistance for certain categories of people who want to pay those premiums anyway. You hear that? The bill also creates avenues for premium assistance. In other words, money for certain categories of people. What is a certain category of people? Be more specific. They're not going to be specific. Here's the specific: those who want to pay those premiums anyway. I don't know anybody right now who really want to pay their insurance bill. Especially when they barely working or not working. Anybody who want to pay those premiums anyway and would open a special interest enrollment period, a special insurance enrollment period, a week from the date it's enacted into law. It also provides 9 months of premium payments to health insurance plan administrators who don't receive them during the ongoing pandemic. This is what gets me, man. I haven't even got on the results of the bill because the bill did get passed, but it's going to die as soon as they hit the Senate. They caved in the bill. Why are you trying to get these money to people to pay for their insurance when these people don't have a job? Well, we're going to give them the money to keep their insurance. What you need to be giving, most of that money you're giving is only going to 1% of 99%. 99% of the people can't afford premium health care. 99% of the people in the United States can't afford COBRA. But you're giving the weight of the money in this HEROES Act to those people. I can understand the nurses and things like that. They should be getting free health care. Everybody right now should be getting no-cost health care. The word premium should not be coming out of nobody's mouth right now. The word affordable health care should not be coming out of nobody's mouth. We're the richest country in the world, and we let other countries offer to their people no-cost health care. Canada, England, Boris Johnson took advantage of that. He's the leader of, the UK. He's the prime minister of the UK. He ended up getting COVID, and he's doing whatever he can to make sure that that single payer system of the UK get even more money. He's not telling nobody to pay no premiums. Yeah, we got these rich son of a bees continually to kiss the behind of the insurance industry. The insurance industry lobbied, put on their mask, and walked the halls of Congress begging for money, and they're giving it to them. You should be, when I finish this, you're going to be pissed off, and you should be pissed off, because what they did was they gave your money to them. Now, I'm going to show you in a minute. It also provides 9 months of premium payment to health insurance plan administrators who don't receive them during an ongoing pandemic. The push to protect insurance premiums comes as some healthcare companies like United Health, Humana, and Cigna have reported profits. They reported profits during the pandemic amid record high unemployment levels have boosted. They don't expect to take a financial. How in the blue hell, heaven, hip hop, whatever, how in the world do you get a profit during a pandemic? These people are in record profit. They got money to sit on, and they come into the government asking for the taxpayers' money. And we're not saying nothing. We're not calling them. We're not cussing them out. We're not getting in their face. We're not doing none of that. We just let them ride. We so fixated on Trump and his mess ups. These fools are screwing you every day too, and you don't let them. In late April, dozens of industry groups, including the influential conservative chambers of commerce, sent a letter to congressional leaders asking for direct subsidies for COBRA, expanding use for health savings account. See, that's that Republican talking point to try to continue to profit the insurance industry. When we're in a country, nobody should be profiting off sickness and death or health. Nobody. Most major countries, people don't profit off that. But what about America? We got too many greedy politicians on both the left and the right, and at the same time, you suffer. Granddaddy probably could have got healed from cancer if he got the treatment that he needed, but he didn't have the money to get the treatment because we got these ignorant politicians trying to kiss up to these health insurance companies who are already doing whatever they can to go back to denying him benefits. A couple of weeks ago early, the nation's second largest health insurance lobby, American Health Insurance Plan, joined a congressional call with members of the conservative Democratic Blue Dog Caucus. That's your Joe Manchin, that's your Nancy Pelosi, that's your Dianne Feinstein, all these corporate Democrats, the rich ones, asking for protection for employer coverage. According to the two sources familiar with the April 13th call, AHIP's CEO discussed the importance of protecting employer-sponsored plans. People not working, dog. Why are you letting them focus on protecting employer-sponsored plans and people not working? One person on the call who worked for an insurer and was not authorized to speak publicly about the conversation. In other words, they put a gag on her not to say nothing. Don't say nothing about this phone call. Shut it up. They said AHIP pushed for targeted relief to employers who pay premiums to insurance companies. They figured it was puzzling, given that insurance companies have seen recent profits. So the insurance companies to this day are in record profit. Yeah, they're going to march their little behind over to the halls of Congress and ask them to give them your money. They ask, they beg, they plead for them to get some of your money. And they sitting on record profit. I can see they didn't have no profit. They're going to struggle. They might need to continue to keep the people employed because there are regular people that work at those places. These fools are in record profit. That's why I don't understand why you giving the airline industry money. They're in record profit. They crapping on the employees every day. AHIP discussed from a perspective of protecting employer-sponsored coverage, which would be the health plan. That's what they sell, the person says. So they would basically be saying to their customer, you get some protection as long as the money goes to pay for the premiums. Keep paying the premiums, we're going to give you some protection. Some. It's a time where everybody is trying to get something for their industry, right? And the microphone was open to health plans, they added. It was a curious stance between being taken. So in other words, they're in record profit and they got the nerve to pick up the mic and ask for some of your money. The nerves of these rich, wealthy insurance companies sitting on profit, massive profit, got money, but they got the nerve to go to Congress and ask for your money, money that you need in this COVID crisis. You ain't doing all that hot, they doing good. The nerves, man. The nerves. And you're going to find out these weaklings bow down to the insurance company. Once again, Nancy Pelosi, all of them bow down again. Again, they passed the act, but they watered it down. I'm going to get into that. We were trying to push $2,000 a month to the end. They pushed it down to another $1,200 check. Like that's going to really, let me shut up. While fully subsidizing COBRA has the popular appeal of simplicity, it is inefficient, unfair, poorly targeted, could end up hurting some people, and does not even work toward closing the gaps in the nation's healthcare system. It is inequitable because much more help will go to people who previously made higher incomes. So once again, the Democratic elite is selling out the working class. And what pissed me off is because you want to continue to hop out at Trump. He ain't your only one. Hop at him. Yeah, hop at him. But you ain't hopping out the ones who stabbing you in the back too. I'm the only one hopping at him. Then people get mad at me. You Diamonds and Silk lost their job. Trump probably hire you. Trump won't hire me because I get on him just like I get on the rest of them. I poop on all of them if they deserve it. Now, if they deserve to be massaged and, dolled up, I'll do that when they do right. I got to deal with people on Facebook. They're so happy, getting excited. And I told them it's a good thing. But understand, they're only putting that number out there to make you feel good because they're about to get reelected. They're trying to get reelected. They got to look like they're fighting for you. But at the end of the day, it's a negotiation, and they're going to cave in before the Republicans cave in because they got a history of doing that. And sure enough, it proved itself right here in this situation. Subsidizing COBRA may be a good option for people laid off from high-paying jobs who are more often had high-quality insurance. Meanwhile, workers who had no coverage or only low-quality employer insurance with a very high cost sharing, will more likely be better off on Medicaid than COBRA. Or I say Medicare for all. See, the point is everybody can't get on Medicaid. They couldn't afford COBRA or the, Blue Cross Blue Shield and all that because they were too expensive, and they end up paying more. The company they work for paid a little bit, they paid the most. So you see a chunk of your check going every week just to try to get health care. And now you don't have no job. And these people sitting on record profit, they're going to go try to take your money. They're begging for your money, the money that need to go in your pocket, $2,000 plus every month. They want some of that. And lo and behold, they negotiated down where they can get some of it. Before I tell you, oh, I hate these politicians, man. It's just people tell me you should run for office. Nah, man, because I've been uncut one of them, man. I would literally cut one of these people because they playing with people's lives. I couldn't be no senator, no congressman, man. I've been to kick somebody in their jaw. I care about people too much, man. Then you got the so-called liberal, the so-called progressive, calling Nancy Pelosi mommy bear. Yeah. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a woman who I voted for, and I'm ashamed that I did. Now she kissing they behind. You're supposed to be the antagonist to these rich people in office that's crapping on us. Calling her mama bear. Medicare had almost no cost sharing. While a former employer coverage may have large deductibles and out-of-pocket limits, these lower income hospitality sector employers are the ones most hurt by layoffs right now. Yet if the government fully subsidized COBRA, this gives insurers a reason to mislead their recent laid off customer to keep them on the road. Additionally, the HEROES Act does not provide assistance to individuals who have purchased their own insurance, rather than being provided coverage by an employer, and often have the most difficulties affording care. Congressional Democrats, I didn't say congressional Republicans, they crap. I'm saying congressional Democrats are setting themselves up for policy and political failure by adopting the industry groups requested to improve COBRA only temporarily for the next year. The provision in the HEROES Act run through January 31st, 2021, setting the United States up for a healthcare crisis at the start of Presidential Trump's second term or Joe Biden's administration first term. On a purely political level, there is no reason to believe that the crisis will be over by November, and it won't, or that the Senate Republicans are going to have any interest in passing more stimulus measures if Trump loses. Of course not, because Joe Biden is a Republican dressed as a Democrat. How many times I got to say it? All you have to do is go look at his record. His record is Republican. He get more Republicans to side with him on voting for his policies than Democrats. He leans and caters to Republicans more than Democrats. It would be political malpractice for Democrats to pursue any solution that is not permanent, or at least based on automatic stabilizers that Trump can't undermine. On a policy level, the coronavirus pandemic has merely brought to the fore existing inequality in the U.S. healthcare system. Trying health insurance to employment and therefore ensuring a loss of insurance during times of unemployment was a huge problem well before the crisis. The only real difference now is that it is happening to so many people at once. The fact that the Congress is even exploring subsidizing COBRA is an admission that neither the existing COBRA nor the Affordable Care Act were properly designed to address what happens to a person's health care when they suddenly lose their job. Let me stop there for a second. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, all of them trying to push Obamacare back into existence when Obamacare didn't subsidize all people. Now, at the time when Obama was in office, it was better than the current system, but it was still not enough, and it needed to be improved, and it needed to be expanded where all people can take advantage, and they need to take that little piece out where they penalize you for not getting it. Trump took away that. The only thing that I'm glad he did do, but he should have put something in place to keep Obamacare going. Now, here's my problem with Obamacare. Obamacare is the Republican, is actually Mitt Romney care. It's the same policy that Mitt Romney pushed in Massachusetts. He took Mitt Romney's health care plan and brought it nationally. And the reason he brought it nationally because he figured they'll get more votes. When he had the majority in the Congress, he could have passed Medicare for all because he had the majority. But he didn't want a bum rush policy like Trump. Some things you got to bum rush because it ain't got nothing to do with politics. It's got about serving people. Had he bum rushed Medicare for all, we would be a Medicare for all country, and we would still have people today living than people that's gone, because they would have been able to get the health care they need without worrying about breaking the bank or losing their home or going in bankruptcy. Yet they're trying to push this stuff back up. Fools, people can't afford Obamacare. People can't afford, right now, people not working. This is the purpose for Medicare for all. The people in Canada right now are doing good. They got any issues physically, they go to the doctor, they show their card, they get what they need, bada boom, bada bang, they go home, no bill. Likewise in the UK, likewise in Australia, likewise in just about every democratic country. We the only fools that's allowing this stuff happen. Reached out for a comment. AHIP Senior Vice President of Communications, Christine Gross, said the group couldn't speak to any meetings with members of Congress, adding that its focus on legislative proposals was solely in the interest of employers and employees keeping health coverage. Folks cannot afford your stuff. It is for employers to keep their employee coverage and for people to get coverage if they don't have it today, including incentives for employers to keep their employees on their health coverage, supports the employees to afford COBRA coverage and a special enrollment period to get people covered. No, actually, most employees were going to drop it anyway because, number one, they're not working. Number two, I don't care if it's $20 a freaking month. Nobody wants to pay $20 for insurance when they're not working. That $20 can go towards some meat, some cheese, and some bread. Asked about the pattern of insurance company posting significant profits during the crisis, Grove said it was too soon to know the financial impact of COVID-19 on the healthcare industry. We didn't have much of an opportunity to see an impact from COVID-19 in the first quarter because it was so early in crisis, and we were not able to track COVID-19 through the healthcare system until. So the bottom line is that these politicians keep selling you out. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to hit them up on the Twitter and tell them about this self? Are you going to blow up their inbox? Are you going to call them? Are you going to go to their office? What are you going to do? Are you going to let them continue to mull over you? They're letting these lobbyists take your money. They're letting these lobbyists take your money. Give me a moment. Let me show you what I mean. I'm finished on that particular article. Let's go over this one because this is important. Because we started out with $2,000 a month for up to 5 people in the household. $10,000 a month. And Medicare for all should have been put into that. Or rent-free should have been put into that. Because right now we're in a depression. We're not even in a recession. We're in a depression. Nobody's working. Some people are still working, but most people are going through it. And a lot of people are afraid to work because they don't want to get sick because this virus has not been contained. You can't contain it unless you have either a virus or you have a treatment. Get people tested, get them the treatment until they are negative. That's the only way you're going to get back to normal. So people not working. So we needed a real good stimulus package, and they've been vowing from the first one that the next one is going to be better, and the next one is going to be better, and the next one got you in mind. The next one going to be for you. We got you. Every last one of them go to some corporation. Every last one of those bills, it seemed like people who got money end up taking our money. And that don't piss you off? Let's look at today's article. And then I'm done. Today's article. This is Forbes magazine. Yesterday, May 16th. Heroes Act passes House. Omits $2,000 reoccurring stimulus check and other notable items. In other words, you are not getting the $2,000 a month that they proposed. Somebody punked out and caved in. They figured number one, they figured the Republicans wasn't going to buy the $2,000 a month. Who gives a crap? Let them vote no, so somebody can campaign against them for voting no. The reason it's omit $2,000 recurring stimulus check and other notable items because they taking some of that money to give to these lobbyists. Last night, the House of Representatives passed the Health and Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solution Act, or the HEROES Act, by a vote of 208 to 199. The sweeping $3 trillion legislation. Funny how they can come up with a bill to pay $3 trillion in a crisis, but let people talk about reparations for blacks at the tune of trillions. Oh, where are we going to get the money from? Same place you got this money from. The sweeping $3 trillion legislation was dismissed by Senate Republicans with Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, deriding it as a big laundry list of pet priorities. The grab bag bill included many provisions seemingly disconnected from stabilizing the economic efforts of the coronavirus pandemic, such as ones related to cannabis banking. A messaging bill meant to outline Democratic priorities. The HEROES Act is notable for what it omits as for what it includes. The HEROES Act is notable for what it omits as far as what it includes. Well, let's look at this. The No Paycheck Guaranteed Act, spearheaded by Representative Pramila Jayapal and the Congressional Progressive Caucus. The Paycheck Guarantee Act would have guaranteed 100% coverage of workers' wages up to $90,000 a year. The sponsors urged that given the economic carnage inflicted by coronavirus, Congress need to think big and offer workers as well as businesses, nonprofit and local government of all sizes a better path forward with this uncertain environment. Interestingly, an analyst by Moody chief economist Mark Zandi estimated that the net cost of the program would be $654 billion, nowhere near the $3 trillion, over 6 months, which is actually less than the 2 rounds of small business loans approved by Congress as part of the Paycheck Protection Plan. So even though it's cheaper, less costs than the original bill. Let me keep going. Another interest feature of the proposal would have taken out banks as the intermediary to disperse payments, instead facilitating payments straight from the IRS to the employer. So in other words, the money would have came not to your bank, but it came straight from the IRS to the employers. Exclusion of the Paycheck Guaranteed Act led to a mini rebellion, with progressives initially threatening to vote against the HEROES Act, and they should. Most members eventually fell in line. Ain't that something? Most of the members eventually fell in line with Nancy Pelosi and voted for the HEROES bill. So despite the cuts in the bill, despite taking out so much, despite kissing the behind of the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance industry and any other business getting most of our money, instead of them protesting, they fell in line with Nancy Pelosi. Once again, who did that? Not just Nancy Pelosi, but the Progressive Caucus. Here's another one. No recurring $2,000 a month stimulus check. They caved in on that. The original bill pushed that, but now it's not in this bill. The bill that got passed today. The HEROES Act included a proposal for a second round of direct payments to Americans. $1,200 for an individual, $2,400 for joint filers, $1,200 for up to 3 dependents. This one-time infusion of cash will provide relief to many Americans who exhausted their funds from the first round of stimulus payment, received a lower amount than anticipated, or are still waiting to receive. You got people who didn't receive their first stimulus check. Now you're going to tell us we're going to push for you to get another $1,200 one time. So no, we're not going to fight to get you $2,000 a month. You're lucky we're going to get you another $1,200. If we get that, you better be lucky. I didn't get my first $1,200. What you talking about? There's no student forgiveness, loan forgiveness, none of that. Pelosi and Democrats choose the single payment route instead of recurring stimulus payment that would have provided ongoing relief for up to 12 months. That's fine for you, Nancy. You get a check every month. Guess who's giving you the check? We giving you the check. We giving you the check. You get a check from us every month. And I guarantee you it's not $2,000. Probably more like maybe $12,000, $15,000 a month. Maybe more than that. And you sit on $150,000 in wealth. But you couldn't struggle, you couldn't fight harder to get the average American citizen $2,000 a month. You telling us all I can get you was another $1,200 check and be happy with that? Be happy with that? Representative Ro Khanna and Tim Ryan had introduced emergency money for the People Act, which had attracted increased support from other House Democrats. Other similar proposals were introduced by Pramila Jayapal and Rashida Tlaib in the House, as well as by counterparts in the Senate, including a proposal by Ed Markey, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders that will provide a monthly $2,000 check to those struggling to make ends meet during the COVID-19 pandemic. A single check is not sufficient for households that are struggling during this health and economic crisis, and Senator Markey said America needs more than just one payment. Here's another one. No automatic stabilizers. As argued in the previous column, there's no looming disconnect between the sluggish speed of recovery and the duration of unemployment benefits that were included in $2 trillion CARES Act passed by Congress. This problem could have been solved through the use of automatic stabilizers, which would have tied federal aid to economic conditions. Use of stabilizers would have removed the need to continuously pass additional legislation for more aid, instead automatically extending aid such as enhanced unemployment insurance until the economy recovers. In other words, some people are getting an unemployment check with $600 on top of that every week. That's just about $2,000 a month. They need to extend that. The Workers' Relief and Security Act, introduced by Senator Michael Bennet and Jack Reed, along with Representative Don Baer, amid to align relief with the span of the COVID-19 pandemic, was opposed to allowing benefits to lapse after the fixed period of time. However, this proposal, along with the automatic stabilizer of any kind, were left out of the HEROES Act passed by the House. Instead, the bill would simply extend the enhanced unemployment benefit through January 21. Now, that's a good thing if they can do that. Extend it out to January 2021. But everybody's not on unemployment. Everybody's not on unemployment. Some people just been laid off. Some people quit. Some people fired. Anyway, let me keep going. No improvement to get funds to individual quicker and more accurately. Some people haven't even got their $1,200 check yet, and they are not even working on a way to get you your money quicker and faster. How you going to tell me you're going to give me another $1,200 check and I haven't gotten my first? The problems with the CARES Act were limited to ineligibility or duration of funding. They also involved executional mistakes. The process of delivering funds to individual and small business was riddled with friction and complexity. Many individuals have still not received their stimulus check from the CARES Act. Others received check but for a lower amount than expected and are being told by the IRS they won't be able to receive the difference until 2021 when they file their taxes. Instead of spending over 1,800 pages on a futile proposal, many not germane to the coronavirus pandemic, it would have behooved Democrats to develop proposals to deliver funds more quickly and more accurately to Americans. And other things in this bill I need to share with you are, give me a moment. $200 billion will go to essential workers to get hazardous pay, if this can make it over to the Senate and get passed by Mitch McConnell now. $1 trillion will go to state and local and tribal governments to help pay vital workers like first-time responders, health workers, and teachers who could be on the verge of losing their jobs. Here's a breakdown of the estimated allocations of the states and territories. I'm not going to go into there. Look at the article yourself. We went over the denial of $2,000 a month and a second stimulus check of $1,200. However, instead of $500 for children, family would get $1,200 for each household member, up to a maximum of $6,000. Now, I can say that's a big improvement from the last stimulus package. If this get passed, you get $1,200 and $1,200 for each member of the household, up to $6,000. That is a better deal, but it ain't $2,000 for each person in the household, up to $10,000. And this is one time again. This is not monthly. $175 billion in housing assistance to help renters and homeowners with rent, mortgage, and utility bills. But you do understand, if you gave me $2,000 a month, gave my spouse $2,000 a month, I can pay my rent. But I'm still kind of pissed off about that $2,000. But $175 billion in housing assistance to help renters, homeowners with rent, mortgage, and utility payments. Again, this is housing assistance. This is not a rent freeze. This is not a rent freeze. This is housing assistance. Mortgage, utility payments. $75 billion for coronavirus testing, tracing, and isolation efforts. An extension of COVID-19 unemployment programs, providing that the extra $600 per week benefit will last until January 2021 instead of expiring on July 2020 as it currently stands. Now here I gotta say, look at the silver lining. You get a $1,000 check is better than no check at all. But it's not enough. You need more than that. That $2,000 a month would have been beneficial. I'm not going to front the $600 extra on top of your unemployment is a good thing. And extending it to January 2021 is a good thing. Now, will all this pass Congress? I don't know. What they should have did was they should have continued with the $2,000 a month check and let those Republicans vote it down so they can campaign against them on that and shame them on that and got them back to the drawing table to maybe bring it down to $1,500 or $1,200 a month instead of $1,200 one time. But no, our politicians are punks. They don't have any balls. They don't have any guts. They don't have anything. They need to freeze student loans. Rents need to be freezed. There should be no medical bills in this season, and the money need to be getting back to the people. because it's our money. Recently, the healthcare industry decided to go lobby Congress. They decided to meet with Democratic elites, and they begged for more money to help the workers, help the bosses, help the workers pay their insurance premium, their high insurance premium that they probably wasn't paying for in the first place because they didn't have the money. Most people can't afford those premium insurance companies. Yet these fools are coming to you asking for our money, Nancy Pelosi and whoever else has something to do with this. And then all of a sudden, here's this new proposal. $2,000 a month is gone. We're going to go with $1,200. What? Try to reinstitute Obamacare. We need Medicare for all. I can go on and on and on. The selling out of Democrats, conning us again and assuming that we're just going to take whatever you give us. No, you're not fighting for us. You don't deserve another option. You do not deserve to be a senator no more. You don't deserve to be House Speaker now. If she loses her race, of course she's not going to be House Speaker and she won't be senator. This other gentleman will be. You think she's going to be messed up? She get to have a new lease on life because she done screwed so many people as a congressman. Up to this point, she get to go spend the rest of her life with her bougie husband with their refrigerator and that high-priced ice cream and live off that $150 million they got in a nest egg. And Kamala Harris can take her place. You mark, trick, fool, son of a politicians. This is why I really can't get with none of you. And people want me to always want to focus on the right and always want to focus on Trump. Look, I don't focus on them because I know they dog trash. Most of them are dog trash. So why am I going to focus on people? No, the ones I got to focus on is the ones who act like they're innocent puppies when they're really dog trash too. And that's one. Caved in, bowed down to the insurance industry and decided to give them our money. They could have gave you that $2,000 a month. Guess where it's going? It's going to go to those guys. Because they're punk politicians. They got no guts, no balls, and they don't have an incentive. Strip them of everything they got right there and have them live like us. And I bet you they'll get us that quick, fast, in a hurry because nobody wants to live like us. And they're glad that they don't have to live like us. And they don't have an incentive. Like I said, we boot her out of office. She's good. She got $150 million stacked. She go home every day and her husband and her got money packed stacks next to their ear. These people are not your friend. And you're a fool to think they are your friend. And I'm talking to you. Now, I'm not talking to Bernie Sanders because he should have been alone a long time ago. I'm talking about you, AOC. Just because they warmed up to you, they don't like you. Mama Bear. You got to be kidding me. If I can find another progressive in my district that got more balls than you, basketballs, I'm voting for them. I don't need somebody kissing up to Nancy Pelosi. The paper said most of y'all caved into the bill. Nancy Pelosi showed y'all something else and y'all just caved on to it. You guys be lucky you get your seat this year. Because you talking about how bad Trump is flopping up the coronavirus issue, and he is. You guys so suck at lobbying and whipping up votes for a good piece of policy. That $2,000 a month that Bernie Sanders them came up with was an excellent plan for this current situation. Now, of course, I would use it against him to let him know you can't even go run your mouth say you can't afford any help for black people when it comes to reparation because you're doing it when it comes to something as simple as, getting people through this crisis. It's the same thing. Republicans, they don't disappoint me. You know why? Because I don't expect them to do better. Would like for them to do better, but I don't expect them to do better. But you Democrats, the home of democracy, the party of FDR, the Bill of Rights, You disappoint me every freaking day. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to disappoint you with my no vote this year. You best believe you're going to get a phone call from me wearing y'all out. Every politician. If I can find out who watered this bill down, I'm coming after you. Not physically, nothing like that. But I am going to come after you. And this is how I come after you. Punk politicians make me sick.